everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to Save today with Jess and Deb. Today we're going to do a little switcheroo, and we're going to talk about kind of reiterate some of the things we were talking about last week about domestic violence and holidays. Christmas is 14 days away now, so really busy season for a lot of people, and especially us. Unfortunately, with domestic violence on the rise and a lot of people in the community needing services. We also are the local homeless shelter for women and children. So we are extremely busy right now. Now, last week, Deb, I know we were talking about domestic violence being on the rise, like I said, and that domestic violence doesn't have a face. Can be anyone. Are you aware of any new cases of domestic violence that involve like high-profile cases?
That's the thing we want everyone to understand, that we still hear people say, you know, not in our community, it doesn't happen to us, we don't see it a lot, so it doesn't make it real. And actually, we just had a recent one of December 1st, around then, December 1st to the 3rd, we had Javon Belcher, which is a football player for Kansas City.
So this wasn't here, but it was a big thing. I know a lot of people have seen on TV.
Exactly. It's had a lot of notoriety. It was all over the television, you know, CNN, the sports channels, they were all talking about that. Apparently, a lot of people didn't even think anything was going on with this young man. But there was, apparently. So he killed himself and then his child's mother. And once again, because of his situation, his status, I'm sure he didn't want to come out and say, okay, I have issues, you know.
Right. So you think, I mean, you know, because of his status in the community, you think he didn't seek out for services? I mean, obviously there was something going on, and we're not here to talk about, of course, a big high-profile case like a football player, but just that is something that people do recognize on TV, and are they recognizing this is domestic violence, this is what that is, this is what it looks like.
It was just a football player that went out and killed somebody, you know, it wasn't something like that. It was close to home, it was at home. You know, this is his child's mother. So it wasn't like drinking and driving, you know, anything like that, the boys out partying. This was a situation that was geared at home. So there took some forethought, some planning that went into this. Now, do we know all of the situation behind what happened?
Not,
we don't. We probably never will. You'll hear people speculate, you know, I may have seen that or maybe seen that, but we really just don't know. And because of his position, you got to remember, this guy's a high-profile football player. Is he going to lose endorsements if he comes out and say, you know, I've been beating my girlfriend or my fiance or whatever? Will he lose respect from other players?
Right.
So they bottle this stuff up just like everybody else. But because of his status, now that it's on television, people are looking at like, oh my gosh, you know, this happened to them. It happened to anyone. And once again, we always say there's no color barriers, there's no economical barriers. It happens everywhere.
Right.
And if we can get people to understand that reaching out for help, we don't know what this man was thinking.
We don't know what he was going through. We don't know what was going on in his life.
We don't know his past history. We don't know their history. We don't know if she was involved. We don't know. But we know there was a situation where some services could have helped out and hopefully intervened. Being realistic, though, Jess, we do know that we're not going to save everybody.
Oh, no, definitely not.
There's going to be some cases that slide through. We know that. But the best thing that we can do is educate, educate, educate. Get the information
bring awareness
out there.
to the community,
Exactly.
Getting the community involved with issues like this. Had he not been a football player, we might not have ever heard about this, you know, so it just goes to show that stuff like that will bring the community together, but these women here in Martinsville or in smaller communities, they're not going to advertise this stuff on TV, so they're not going to know, the community's not aware that this don't just happen to football players or people with money. It happens every day in many different people's lives. So.
And we're their voices, the ones who don't have the status behind them, you know, the professionalism, whatever behind them. We seek them out. We help them out with their services and let them know you're no different than Javon. You know, your story is just as important to us as his is to somebody else.
Right.
You know, the sports scene. But they have to understand that, you know, it takes a community to do that. And that's through us educating the community to not be so quick to jump to conclusions because we don't know, but offer them the right resources and where to go. And we have a lot of people in our community are really strong on trying to help us to get the word out in educations, and I think you're going to talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, we've got some special guests going to come on in a few minutes, and you know, there are a lot of agencies in the community. Well, maybe not a lot, but there are other agencies in the community that are working towards bringing people together and seeing other problems in the community, not just, you know, domestic violence, not just sexual assault, but other issues. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, a lot with our name, Citizens Against Family Violence, a lot of times people think that we just gear everything towards domestic violence or violent crimes, but we do service the homelessness, and I know that a lot of times they might just identify as being homeless coming into our shelter, but by case management and by working with them one-on-one, find out that, I mean, I would say 80% of the people that we do work with have a past, whether it be child abuse or childhood domestic violence or
Sexual assault.
yeah, sexual assault as a child or active domestic violence. You know, those services are out there for people regardless of when it happened in their life. And
we want them to know too, they also come in with a preconceived idea in their head that I can't tell these people that I was abused.
right.
They just come in and say, you know, no, I can't afford my rent, so we ended up here. But in reality, there's some other things going on. And that's one of the things we're really trying our best to let them understand. Not that you can tell us we haven't heard.
right.
We're not going to judge
At this
you.
point, definitely not.
Right. We're not there for that. We don't want you to feel any alarm about letting us know these things because we can't help what we don't know. We constantly say that, you know, tell us about it so we can get you to the right people. If it's not us, you know, outsource to other agencies. And they are growing in our area. We've got a lot of people who are coming together, like you said, in the community, trying to put things in places, you know, suicide preventions, all kind of things.
Right.
But
I mean, that's a whole other show, but suicide ties in a lot with domestic violence and as well
Absolutely.
as what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks with holiday time.
Oh, yeah.
The holidays here, domestic violence is on a rise, suicide is on a rise as well. And, you know, we'll talk more about that at hopefully a later time. But, I mean, that is an issue in the community. And a lot of people don't tie in domestic violence and suicide
Right.
together, or holidays and domestic violence or holidays and suicide. But it all does tie in together. And this is a rough time for our community, and it really is. And
For all of us, Jess, I think
for all of us as a whole,
and
not just our agency that's out here trying to
Yes.
work, not just other agencies that are out here trying to bring people together, but as a whole, it affects us
everyone.
all.
And as individuals, you know, we all see our neighbors hanging decorations and, you know, you want to go out and help that and you're thinking, my Lord, I've got to do this myself and I got that to do. So it's a very stressful time for just us in general. So we do have to come together, you know, the whole neighborhood and friends of these friends and friends of that friend, you know, just kind words. Just help
Right.
somebody out. You know, I understand what you're going through.
Sometimes a
Let's-
pat on the back and you're doing a good job is
It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah.
lifting for some people.
Especially for a
so.
single parent, mom or dad, if they're a single parent, just need someone to say, you know, I see you. I see that you're doing the best you can. Hey, let me give you this phone number. They can probably help you with a little more resources.
Right,
There's nothing wrong with
exactly.
that. And we want them to see that, you know, it's not that we think you can't do it or saying that you're a bad parent, but we all need help every now and then and call the people who can help you. And that's us, you know, call and we can get you the right people.
Right people, right. So, I'm really excited about bringing on our special guest today. I know that they are doing something great in our community, and that's what we need is more people coming together and realizing different problems in the community. You know, it says in 2011, 16.1 million children in the U.S., which is like 21% of children, live in poverty. And those children aren't out here on their own living in poverty. They have parents, and that means their parents are living in poverty, and that means a lot of people are going without. And as a community, I mean, one can of food or, you know, one toy or whatever it may be might change a life, really, and or might really help benefit that person to come into their next step of, you know, getting on track and stuff. So
And
that's
actually
what
goes
we
a long
need
way.
is community effort, really, really
Speaking
important.
of food too, Jesse, you know, when they come to the shelter or, you know, seeking help or whatever, we talked about it before, people come with just what they have.
Right,
sometimes
clothes
they're
on their back, and
And the
that's
kids
it.
in tow. It doesn't mean you have food or access to getting social services benefits sometimes. It's a process. And that's another thing why it's so important to have, you know, other entities come in and help us out for food drives and whatever else, you know, bringing in toiletries and things you would use at home. You know, it's a
Right.
house. We're running a house, basically, and it's the same thing. And if it wasn't for the community coming together and helping us out with those things,
Right,
my
definitely.
goodness,
And I've seen I mean, sorry to cut you off or
That's
anything,
okay.
but I've seen an increase in the community really reaching out to help our facility. I know every day we're getting donations in for, you know, toilet paper or, you know, cleaning supplies or different things that people don't realize how much that little stuff helps
yeah.
and how long it goes, because we don't get money to buy this stuff if the
Right.
community doesn't come together and help support our people that are in a bad time right now, you know, or whatever it may be. You know, we wouldn't be able to make it without the community.
Right. And the beauty
So shout out
part
to
of
the
that,
community for the help that you
Yeah,
are
right.
doing.
And the beautiful part of that too is that a lot of them will say, do you want a receipt or you want to write this off? And they'll say, no, I did it just because.
Just
I
because,
just wanna
and I've
help.
seen a big increase in that.
Oh my gosh, just because. And they're like, no, don't want anything for it, just because. And
that's
that's
great.
awesome.
It is. Right now we're in the middle of going to have a big Christmas party next week for all of the children and families, you know,
Right.
that we've serviced and throughout the year, and just making sure that they have a Christmas. Making, you know, that first year out of a, you know, a situation like this, Christmas is tough. You know, everybody's reestablishing themselves and stuff. So, you know, these local agencies that are helping, which we're going to bring one on in a minute, but these local agencies that are helping, and people coming, and we are going to ask again, you know, anyone that might can drop off a unwrapped toy. We do have a lot of children in the community that we're going to service, and you know, that's really helpful. But these other agencies helping us, I mean, it's really making things
really great
for us.
And we thank you all. We thank everyone who comes out and brings even just one can of food or whatever it may be, toothpaste, whatever it is. We thank you all for it, because it does keep us going, and it helps out our community at large. So
right, definitely. And a lot of other, you know, agencies. I hope he don't mind, but I know I read in the paper about how big that toy drive was. What was it, like the 20th annual One Big Bird did? And I mean, I think that's awesome. And to see people come together to know that those toys are going to, you know, put a smile on a child's face that they might not have had in quite a while, is a big thing. And, you know, that's great. I know there's the Angel Tree, and Salvation Army does a lot of things.
Christmas
and
Cheer, I think it is.
Christmas Cheer. I mean, there's, excuse me if I'm not saying the right names, but I know there's a lot of agencies out there that are trying to bring happiness to these families, and we really appreciate that as part of the community, definitely. So with that being said, community, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got two very special guests that are going to come on and talk about their efforts in the community. So we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Merry Christmas from Uptown Treasures. You can come see us at 28 Fayette Street or give us a call at 632-4545.
At Memorial Hospital, we know something about miracles. We see them happen in healthcare every day. Diseases are conquered, patients are healed, and new generations of our community are born. While we may see marvels of technology and wondrous advances in medicine, Memorial Hospital cannot forget the true miracles are the dedicated people whose care and commitment to service excellence make a difference in the lives of Martinsville, Henry County residents, and in our neighboring communities, one patient at a time.
Tommy Houston, known for award-winning ribs on the Food Network, now has slow smoked chicken wings, the perfect side dish for any party or family event. Try the new barbecue nachos, crisp chips, smothered in barbecue, and all the extras. Pigs R Us and Checker Pig, two great locations, same great food. Wake up with the Sirloin House in Martinsville. A delicious morning breakfast buffet is a great way to start your day. Ham, eggs, bacon, just like home cooking. Lunch and dinner specials, and conveniently located on Commonwealth Boulevard. Wake up with the Sirloin House in Martinsville.
Hello, I'm Creed Taylor with Taylor's Tax and Financial Center. We're here to professionally serve you. We are proven, prompt, professional, and confidential. We provide accounting services, expert income tax preparation, retirement, and financial services. Come see us at Taylor's Tax and Financial Center, 15 Henry Street, Martinsville, Virginia. We're here to professionally serve you.
Are you looking for a quality and trustworthy jewelry repair service? Well, look no further. Eggleston's Jewelry Repair has been serving the Martinsville, Henry County area for nearly 22 years. We specialize in ring sizing, chain repair, stone setting, engraving, watch batteries, and band repair. Eggleston's Jewelry Repair also wants to buy your unwanted, broken, and outdated 10-carat and 14-carat scrap gold jewelry. Eggleston's Jewelry Repair. Come and see us.
now, as I mentioned, we got two special guests on the show today, and I'm just going to give them the floor and let them introduce themselves and what agency they're from and what they represent in the community.
I'm LaDonna Harrison. I'm with the Give Back Foundation, and I'm the president.
My name is Chad Martin. I'm with Give Back Foundation. I'm the vice president.
All right, so Give Back Foundation. What is the Give Back Foundation?
Basically, the Give Back Foundation is a grassroots membership drive organization. We're a 501c3. It was founded and established by Melvin Venable, who was a former native of Martinsville in Henry County.
Oh.
And currently he lives in South Carolina. He's in the military. He's a Marine. And he works at the University of South Carolina. And what he found was when he came home to visit, that the community wasn't the same, that we didn't work together.
Right.
And we didn't have the camaraderie that we had when we were growing up. So he decided to establish a foundation to bring that camaraderie back to the area where we all work together and try to unite to work with issues that we face within Martinsville and Henry County.
Wow, I mean, that's awesome. That's a really good cause. Do you know what his goals are for the foundation, like what his future goals are?
Basically, the future goal.
Excuse me, not him, but as a whole, the Give Back Foundation, definitely.
As a whole, it, like I said, is to establish camaraderie. We feel that we lead by example, and by us working together and uniting all different organizations and different people within the community. That I have that motto, that old cliche that, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, mine is it takes a village to bring a community together and to make it better. So with that, having said that the goal is to take the community, we work together. We're just an advocate, if you will, that works in the community.
I love that word, because, you know, we're victim advocates, and y'all are community advocates, you know, basically, and that's great. I mean, we need people like y'all, definitely.
That's the great thing, that if we're advocating, we may be, I guess, targeting a different population, but we can all work together for the common good of the community and advocate each different sex, but we can bring it all to the table to work out things that we may face, like the hunger issue that we have.
Donna, that does help with domestic violence too, is bringing families together. And that's part of it too, so
yeah.
that's a lot.
I think that a lot of people don't realize that when you have domestic violence and there's someone who's looking to a way out, that they may come to the table with nothing.
Right.
They're pretty much just picking up and leaving their situation. And having said that, if they go into a shelter, that there's not, food that they have.
Right.
And the shelter is having to provide that. And just from knowing the situations that I've known, that sometimes, there's a food shortage within that shelter as well.
Exactly.
So that was one of the reasons why we wanted to partner and with the different organizations and different people in the community, because we have business owners as well who are using their site as a drop-off point.
That's great.
Right, I know, not to cut you off or anything, last week, that's what we had talked about, is this local food drive that y'all are doing, and so, y'all can definitely talk about that. I know I mentioned it a little bit last week and right at the end of the show, but y'all want to talk a little bit about the food drive that y'all are doing? I mean, I think that is a great idea. I know that y'all do a lot of other things in the community, but the food drive, y'all want to...
Well, this is the first year that we've tried to take on the task of having a food drive. You have different people who have food drives, but there's not been a community effort where everyone is doing the food drive at the same time. So Chad went to different people in the community to see if you're doing a food drive, how about we all partner and we do it from December the 4th through December the 19th and collect. And what we'll do is we'll split that dry food with the Grace Network, with Community Storehouse, and with Citizens Against Family Violence and Salvation Army, because those are the 4 entities that you usually would go to for food. So we thought that we would just do the collaborative effort instead of one having a food drive this period of time, that we all do it collectively and that we present it at the same time. So it's been a great effort. I'm just overwhelmed at how many people have, decided to jump on board. We had some that were already in the midst of doing a food drive, but said, hey, we'll do it all together. Let's do this together, and we'll stand together and collect together and be able to present and help out the community for us.
That's so touching. I mean, that's great. That's community. I mean, that just shows the efforts of the community is trying to work together, and more people like y'all in the community out there trying to, push this effort is, it's great. We need a lot more. Can we clone y'all? We need a lot more.
I just want to kind of like point out some of the drop-off points people may not know, and I'm going to have to do it off of here because there's so many. The Blue Ridge Library, YMCA, Memorial Hospital, Barry Elliott Realty, SunTrust Bank, BB&T, Piedmont Community Services, Bassett Family Practice, Virginia Department of Health, Henry County Administration Building, and not only did we have the administration building for Henry County, but the municipal building as well.
Awesome.
Well, that's great.
Henry County Sheriff's Office.
And, plug in there.
And some of the businesses, you have Doug's Limousine Shop, Chick-fil-A, Hugo's, Druid Lane's Bowling Alley, Reeves Theater, and Jeff's Car Care. And then Martinsville Middle School, they were already in the process of doing it, but they said, hey, you're doing a community effort, we're going to jump on board with that as well. So, am I missing Community Fellowship? Colonial Downs, another business.
Wow, okay, I didn't know that. That's a new one since last week. I'm glad y'all mentioned that. A lot of those are like, I didn't say that last week.
And just recently, yesterday, I had the president of the SGA to come to me and say, we're collecting, but let's jump on board with you as well. So Patrick Henry Community College is also participating as well.
That's great. And just those places you named them, those different parts of the community, different agencies, so that shows that they are coming together. That's great.
And I'm just really pleased with how, everyone is just really kind of excited about it, I guess you would say, that we're working together and that we're standing to stamp out hunger.
Exactly.
Definitely. This is great. Besides the food drive, I know you said this was your first year doing the food drive. Do you think if this is successful, y'all are going to continue to do this in later years and stuff? I think this is a great effort.
Well, I guess I'm kind of like throwing it out there. We had discussed about doing a coat drive. We would like to do that as well.
Oh, wow.
Coats for the kids or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I know a lot of people without. I need a coat now. So I know there's people out there that need them. What other things do y'all do in the community? What other activities or events y'all have had to try to bring the community together, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no, not a problem at all. I'm going to throw out our little famous Community Fun Festival that we have each year. We've had it twice within a year, and where we cordon off Fayette Street from Market to Dunlap. And what we do is we just bring the community together. Everybody is invited, it doesn't exclude anyone. And we just really have fun. We have inflatables there for different ages, we try to have something different for all ages groups. So we might have the little bouncy bounce type of inflatable, but then we'll have something that the adults can participate in as well.
Awesome.
And not only do we do that, but we have different games and contests there where we, I guess you would say, give out money for the contest for the winners. We had a singing contest last year, trying to showcase some talent.
No, I'm just saying. I can't say that.
Oh, yeah, I did forget about that. This past year before last, when we had the Community Fun Festival, we raffled off a car.
Awesome.
That Give Back purchased, and
missed that.
Yeah, and it was a Honda. It was really nice. I actually wanted it myself.
But that's good, though. That brings people out to want to participate in something like that. Our community, we come together, and it's always a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of crime. Our crime rate is ridiculous, but if people see that you can come together as a community and have fun
in a positive way.
Right, in a positive way, and enjoy each other's company instead of the drama and violence. It's great.
So several occasions I think, one year we did do a talent show. We want to showcase the youth and their talent, so we did a talent show, and that was real successful. We had a good time with that. I'm trying to think of everything that we've done. Each year we on our anniversary, which is in April, we have a community pioneer banquet where we recognize someone in the community as a community pioneer. The first year that we did it, we had 3. We thought we'd start off with a bang. And 3 people that we recognized was Pastor Michael Harrison and
Community Fellowship.
For Community Fellowship, Helen Howell, who is an educator for her efforts with NSBE, and Ricky Holcomb, a.k.a. Big Bird, for the toy run.
He is
awesome.
And
I think that is awesome. I've seen the pictures, and I really hope he don't mind us mentioning that, but I mean, I think that is great. And I know so many people come out for that.
Yes, and it's a very successful toy line.
It is. I think it's his 20th annual. I want to say I read that in the paper, and I hope it said 20th.
But he helps us out a lot too, Jesse. He brings out phones for us that we can use for emergency phones for the girls and that come out and the children. So he does a lot. He is really trying to connect with the community and keep us all together, you know, by helping out and bringing awareness.
To mention that, I mean, a lot of people think that these biker guys are, you know, bad people or something, but that just goes to show that they are wonderful people, and it's great to have people like that, you know, in the community trying to change that stigma of what people, you know,
That is
think
correct.
of it a lot of times.
I think sometimes we're just judgmental. And
Yeah, definitely.
instead of us judging people on their appearance, we need to look at them as the inner person and what they offer. Everyone has talents. That's what I believe in.
Right.
That everyone has a talent. They have a gift, and we have to give people opportunity to showcase that talent or their gift within the community, and that's what makes a community great, is that everyone that is able to showcase their talent or participate with their gifts. It makes the community better. So, and that's part of the thing we like to do, is bring everybody to the table with their different differences, their talents, their gifts, and say, hey, okay, we have this problem. What can we do as a whole, as a community, to work on that problem and make this community better?
Wow, y'all are amazing. I'm just so glad to have y'all on here today. We got to wrap it up, and I know we could talk about this forever because I know there's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things that we can do with
a lot of that. We're not gonna have y'all back. But I just real quickly, I wanted to ask you. I hope I'm not butting in, but is your agent or the foundation, is it grant funded by chance or anything like that? Y'all are
No,
y'all
right
like
now,
us, community.
yeah, it's just pretty much community donations, membership, fundraising. We are a 501c3 incorporation, but it's just doing that membership drive, getting people to work in the community. We had a meeting. We do community meetings as well to bring the community in to say, okay, what do we need to address, and discuss those things and kind of come up with a plan. And then several other meetings, people just donate money.
Well, that's great. And I know on the bottom of our screen today that he has your website, give-back-foundation.com, and there's a link on there that anyone can go on there to donate if they wanted to. Well, that's great. I just wanted to make sure we point that out because this is a great foundation that is really trying to build up our community, and with more people coming together like that and supporting that cause, we all benefit as a community, not just the people at the homeless shelter, not just people in hunger or whatever the needs may be, us as a community. I mean, just the feeling of doing something for somebody is enough reward for me.
It is for me.
And that's how I feel about it. Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all for having us.
And Chad was very quiet today, but he is going to come back and later speak to us about his passion and why he's involved.
You know, you can't come on show a bunch of girls. Well,
oh, no, sorry about that, Chad.
We just
have
have
you back there.
have some eye candy.
Chad has his hands in a lot of pots.
Chad is. I see him everywhere. I know he's doing so much in the community, and it's great to have more young people involved in the community and change that view too. I mean, and men,
Yeah,
exactly.
Positive men.
Positive men.
And we're so glad to have him on board.
Yeah,
This is his first year of being within Give Back, and I just think it's just such a plus just to have him, because he is actually
I think he's a
community.
blessing to our community.
He's a go-getter. That's the thing we like to say. Chad's a go-getter for us.
It's all about Chad. Well, y'all, we'll be back next Tuesday, so stay tuned, and thank y'all very much for coming on the show, and it's great, and thank y'all for everything y'all are doing for the community, and happy holidays, and we will see you next Tuesday. Stay safe.
Get ready to make history again. We're the only Subaru dealer in this part of the country to offer a lifetime protection plan. And in addition, you get your first year maintenance included, insurance